Hi, I'm Kathy Biernat. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade science/STEM. And this move to virtual learning has been awesome. I've loved it. I've loved the challenge of trying to find ways to teach STEM online and keep kids engaged with their hands and their minds. And one of the things I've just been loving is Screencastify. So what is screencasting? Screencast is any digital recording of a computer screen. It's video screen capture, a screen recording, usually having some sort of audio narration, and that's if you're looking at Wikipedia. But basically, it's a way of sharing your screen with students or whoever you want to share it with. What do you need? Well, you need a computer or a tablet. You can actually do it on the phone as well. And some sort of a program or an app that's going to record the video and the audio. And I'm going to talk about Screencastify because it's what I'm most familiar with, but also because it's just awesome. And it's so easy to use. You do need a microphone. You can be built in, attached. You can have a headphone, whatever. But and these other ones, you got to pay for. Right now, Screencastify is free. And the first 5 minutes are always free, which honestly, when I started using Screencastify and had to keep myself to 5 minutes, I actually found the 5-minute limit was pretty good because it meant that I had to get my stuff in. I couldn't go off on tangents and just keep talking. So the 5-minute limit really wasn't so bad. But with the extended version of the license, you get a lot more with the editing and you can do some more fancier things. So why do I use it? Well, I would say you use it to introduce a lesson, to start something. And what's really nice is kids can rewind it. They can listen to it again. They can use it for review. And instead of just having a stagnant piece of paper or a stagnant Google slide, the student actually has you talking to them, just like this. So again, narrating Google Slides is what I've been really using it for a lot. I don't like to use a lot of Google Slides in the classroom, but virtual learning has made this kind of necessary. So using the Screencastify, I'm in the corner and I narrate the slides for them. And I asked the kids, because in the beginning, before I started using Screencastify, I was just posting the slides up. And then they had like worksheets and things to fill out or, to complete. And then I said, oh, maybe I'll try this and I'll try talking to them. And the kids said, oh my gosh, it was so much better, Mrs. Biernat, with you explaining it to us. So here we go. The other things you can use it for is to explain. So my 8th graders were recently learning about momentum. Oh, actually, this is the 7th grader, sorry. This was Ohm's law. And so they really were having trouble with it. And I found that it was easier for me to be in the corner explaining it to them than just sending them the information. This is how you figure out Ohm's law, but actually doing it. And for some of them, I actually held up a whiteboard and I wrote on the whiteboard and just held the whiteboard up and wrote on it, and so they could see what I was doing. And that worked really well too. What I love about Screencastify is I create it and it goes right into my Google Classroom. So I just choose what class I want it to go to. I say I'm going to create an assignment. I plunk it in, and there are my instructions and when it's due and what they need to do, and it's all there, seamless. I don't have to go back out and save it and put it in and find a YouTube video or nothing. It all goes right into their Google Classroom, which I love. I also really like this for assessment. So not getting able to see the kids and see what they know and have them demonstrating this to me in class, they can actually videotape themselves. So these are my 8th graders, and they were explaining Newton's laws. So they had to pick one of the laws and they had to explain it. I also had them demonstrate the 4 different types of friction. And these are quick videos. They're under a minute long, but I can actually see, do they understand it? So rather than have them type out something about this is an example of Newton's law, which they could totally cheat on, I can see that they actually know it. What's interesting too is to see who doesn't follow the directions. So you have Mary, who was showing how Newton's first law affected this toy that she had, this bizarre looking toy. And then you had these guys who demonstrated what happened to Newton with the apple falling on his head. Well, it would have been fine, but they didn't explain how it led to the development of any of Newton's laws. So that was, you could tell they didn't really understand what the assignment was. They're brothers, so don't worry about social distancing. Great for having them to demonstrate how did you work this problem out. So having a little problem with some of the kids in math who are seeming to have the same answers exactly as a friend or cohort. And so instead of having them turn it in a sheet of all their problems that they've done, have them explain it on a Screencastify. Have them show you how they did it. If they copied it, they're not going to be able to do that. So really good assessment. And I'm talking a lot about doing this virtually, but it certainly doesn't have to be done virtually. This could be done in classroom as well. Some other things you can have the kids do, you can upload a video and turn the audio off and have them put the audio over it, which is kind of fun. So see if they can explain what's going on. I kind of think science because I teach science, but you could even do science current events, have them be a newscaster, have them do a weather report, have them do a book review. They can do reenactments. I do these in the classroom. I have them reenact discoveries. I have them reenact principles. So they can certainly do that at home. Lab reports. So you could have them, instead of typing out again their whole lab report, have them videotape it and show you and explain, here's what I was doing and here's why I was doing it. And this is the variable I was manipulating. Also, it's great for parent communication. So we sent out a couple of how-tos for the parents during this virtual learning, or explain how to find things in Google Classroom, and worked way better to have me in the corner explaining it to them than just having them flip through the slides. So really a great idea. I love using Screencastify for feedback. So this was an acceleration worksheet that a young lady turned in, and I don't know if you can read it, but it says over here in the private comments, I'm kind of confused about this. So what I did is I opened up her document, turned on Screencastify, put myself in the corner, and then I said, okay, Ellie, let's look at number 1. What are we trying to figure out? Let's read this together and see, what is the question asking us? Oh, it's asking us to find the time it took. Oh, it's asking us to find the final velocity, whatever it is. And you can give them that feedback, and they feel like they're sitting across from you. In some ways, it's better than them sitting across from you in the classroom, because in the classroom, there's all these distractions. But at home, while there still might be distractions, they can stop it, they can restart it, they can listen to it again. And on this particular worksheet, there were a lot of the problems had the same kind of thing they were looking for. A lot of them were looking for time. So even though I only demonstrated one, she could go back and say, oh yeah, this one's looking for time. How did she do that again? And replay it. And again, this went right into her private comments. So she opened her document, and there I was as a link in her private comments to this little video. I love it. This is one I haven't tried because obviously we haven't needed to have subs, but what a great way to do sub lesson plans. First of all, you could do it for your sub. You can show your sub, hey, this is what I want you to do. This is where they're supposed to go. This is how you turn on the projector. You can actually explain things, but it could also be left for the students. So you could say to the students, here's what you're going to be doing today, and you can give them the directions, which I love this idea. Again, haven't had need for a sub, but just in case. And that's my presentation. Again, I'm Kathy Biernut. I'm located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My Twitter handle is ScientistMaker, and I look forward to hearing from you and learning from you guys on how you're using Screencastify or any kind of screen recording program. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I hope to talk to you soon.